Donald Trump will deliver his first major address since a would-be assassin attempted to take his life last night. He once again walked onto the convention floor to thundering applause and an unusual choice of entrance music that it's a man's world. It was that was a song by James Brown that was playing last night. But the big event of the night was J.D. Vance introducing himself to the country for the first time as Trump's running mate and accepting his place on the ticket.
I'm overwhelmed with gratitude to say I officially accept your nomination to be Vice President of the United States of America.
Vance spent much of the speech detailing his humble beginnings, the rags to riches story documented in his best-selling memoir. But in telling the story of impoverished America, he cast the blame on undocumented immigrants while the crowd waved signs calling for mass deportation now. Take a look.
The absurd cost of housing is the result of so many failures, and it reveals so much about what's broken in Washington. The Democrats flooded this country with millions of illegal aliens. So citizens had to compete with people who shouldn't even be here for precious housing.
Apparently, one of the speeches tonight ahead of the former president's address to the convention will come from professional wrestler Hulk Hogan. Let's go out to CNN's Manu Raju inside the convention hall in Milwaukee.
When Donald Trump said murderers, rapists in 2016, they go, oh, racist, whatever. We read the papers. It's murderers and rapists. A whole army of illiterate, illegal aliens stealing the jobs of black, brown, and blue-collar Americans. You better start packing now.
Arrest the criminal illegal immigrants and put them behind bars. Or send them back.
About last night because, you know, there was all this talk of unity from the former president and that he was going to change his tone and so on, the things that we've heard in the past about Donald Trump. But that's not what took place. And we heard him speak at great length about his complaints about immigration at the border. Let's watch.
We have to stop the invasion into our country that's killing hundreds of thousands of people a year. They're coming from prisons. They're coming from jails. They're coming from mental institutions and insane asylums. They're taking their criminals and they're putting them into our country. They're sending their murderers. We become a dumping ground. The Republican platform promises to launch the largest deportation operation in the history of our country.
Congressman, as you know, I mean, Trump repeated a lot of his claims that he makes at these rallies that he does, and most of those claims obviously are false or misleading. What's your reaction to that?
Jim, I expected to wake up this morning to headlines in newspapers across the country about Trump's vile language, his anti-American language, and I expected people to be questioning his mental state and mental capacity, but crickets, basically. What you just played is who Donald Trump is. Despite the hype that, oh, Donald, you know, the gun violence attack at his rally had changed him or humbled him or made him calmer or softer. Despite all of that hype, Donald Trump is Donald Trump, and he uses the most vile and dangerous language to basically rile up his base. But in addition to riling up his base, Jim, in a couple of weeks here in El Paso, we are going to be marking the 5th anniversary of the August 3rd shooting, a shooting by a white nationalist who drove 10 hours to El Paso and published a screed that mimicked Donald Trump's vile, incendiary language about an invasion. He walked into a Walmart in my community and slaughtered 23 people because he wanted to rid the country of the invasion and of the immigrants. Yeah. Donald Trump is a risk to communities like mine. And to double back on this, everything he said was a lie. We know that immigrants commit crimes in fewer numbers than native-born Americans. We know that immigrants help our economy. And frankly, Democrats have recognized that we need to fix our broken immigration system, but who has stood in the way of that? It's been Republicans who want the problem and not the solution so that they can rile up their base the way that Donald Trump did last night.